Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Collin Johnson with the Collin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. And it is a beautiful early June day here. We are like just warm and the cold's kind of gone away. It was like weird cold on Monday and Sunday and Saturday, and now it's 85 degrees. So who knows what the next week and summer's going to bring. It could be cold again. Who knows? But anyway, I'm excited for you guys to get to meet my new friend, Evan Harr. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And so Johnson City Living, first question everybody gets is, what is your favorite thing about Johnson City?
I came prepared. I got a two-part answer.
Oh, okay.
So one will be kind of a micro, one will be a macro.
I like this.
So the specific would be Rock's Pizza.
Oh.
From Bristol, born and raised.
Yeah.
Me and my wife moved to Kentucky for school and work for a few years, moved back, and I've never been there. And just maybe 6 months ago, we tried it for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like the place to go. So
Rock's wood-fired pizza.
That's the one.
Over on the Bristol Highway.
Yep.
My friend Larry Sanjit owns it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
friends
right.
with his son, Brian, and it's a great spot. That wood-fired pizza is awesome.
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
I guess the more, maybe the broader, more generic answer might be the ability to make connections with people. Because I've now, in my very short career, I've been able to work in very small towns. So right after college, my wife went to optometry school in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
If you know where that's at.
I do.
Way out in eastern Kentucky. So real small town. And I was working, of course. And when you got a small town like that, you meet a lot of people. And you know everybody in the town.
Yeah.
And everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
But it goes a long way whenever you're there with your neighbors and you want to help one another and stuff. And then I've also kind of worked across state into Louisville. And you know, in a bigger city, it's a little bit different. The hustle and bustle of things, and people, I guess, think relationships are a little more like a dime a dozen. So come back to Johnson City, and you're able to build those connections again and get to know people in the community and local businesses and work together. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. So
Yeah, how do you feel like Johnson City is growing, though? I mean, like, because it was probably like Pikeville, but it's we're starting to get bigger, right?
Yep.
I mean, I was talking to somebody else today, and they were like, yeah, you're probably not going to, it's going to be bigger. You're not going to know anybody when you go out like we used to in the future.
Yep.
I don't know if you feel the same way.
I've noticed a little bit of that. I mean, moving back to the area, I thought, I'm going to know everybody. My friends will be here, and the city's grown up a little bit. It's grown up, and some industries moved in, and I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of businesses popping up, and businesses like ours. You might not think about it initially, but there's all kinds of small businesses that are all over Johnson City popping up and growing, and I think it's a really good thing.
I think it is too. Carly and I we're always kind of like, we're eating in a restaurant, we don't know anybody. Like, it's weird. Like, because we always know somebody.
Always,
Always, or the grocery store or whatever. We didn't come on here to talk about Johnson City. You came on to talk about your business, Rearview Rentals, right?
Yep.
Tell me about this. Where is this? What is it?
So I am the director for business development for Rearview Rentals, and what we do is 15 passenger van rentals. We work with mostly business-to-business industry, but at the same time, we'll work with individuals as well if you're just going on a vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
But we rent 15 passenger vans, and we're here in Johnson City, Sevierville, and Knoxville. So we got kind of a wider net that we're casting now.
Yeah.
The owner started Rearview Rentals a few years ago.
Okay.
And last year he bought out the only local competition in town. So that grew his fleet a lot more and a lot quicker. So
there you go.
we're growing quick and setting roots now kind of in the Sevierville and Knoxville area, those locations.
Yeah.
So it's going well.
If you have like 15 brothers and sisters like my buddy Mitch, and you got a 16, do you have a 16 passenger?
No,
Can we
just
like
15.
sit somebody on their lap or something?
Put them on the roof.
Where'd the idea for this business come from? I mean, is that like, because I'm going, we always use church vans if we need it.
Exactly. So it started, Dustin's the owner, so he's the founder of the business.
Okay.
And it started with him going to one of the big rental companies, and a deal fell through. He rented a 15-passenger van to go on a trip. They didn't have it. He showed up the day of, and he thought, surely there's a better way we can do this, because some of those, the big rental companies.
Super disappointing.
It is.
I mean, like, what? I love the Seinfeld, the old one, who's like, well,
Yeah.
you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And the holding of the reservation is the most important part. So if we were to get a reservation with you, I'm sure you would hold the reservation. Right?
Absolutely. And that's the number one thing, on all of our marketing material, any of our flyers, it's guaranteed, right? If you go on the website and you're able to book a van, it's guaranteed you're going to get it. So the way we do it is we'll assign a specific van, and we even give you the ability to go in there and choose specifically what you want. So if you want just the economy option, that's the like the normal church van, right? The low roof with the cloth seats, nothing fancy, you got that. But if you want to specifically get something that's the high roof it's black with the leather seats and all that stuff, you can do that. We've even got a Mercedes Sprinter van. It's a custom van. It's really nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's got recliners in it. It's got TVs and all that, bathroom on board. So,
wow. Yeah. Mitch, we're going to go on a road trip. Yes, that would be cool. He said we should do the podcast from there.
It would be.
On the road with Mitch and Collin.
That'd be cool. Do a little road trip across the U.S.
I like it. Like Charles Kuralt used to do that, on the road with Charles Kuralt back in the day. That's awesome. And so you're located here in Johnson City. You got other locations.
Yep. So we've got our 3 locations now in total.
Where do you see the future of Rearview Rentals going? So you're the director of business development.
That's right. I got to know something, right?
10-year strategy. What's the plan? Lay it out.
So for the short term, shorter than 10 years, maybe the next couple of years, we do a great job in the Tri-Cities.
Gotcha.
Even Southwest Virginia, we really do great. And then in Sevierville and Knoxville, we're setting roots. Like I said, we're making a lot of relationships with nonprofits, churches, private schools, companies, large companies who are going on corporate retreats and all that good stuff. And so immediate future for the next maybe 1 to 2 years, set roots there, continue to grow the market. Long term, we're looking to expand probably towards either Middle Tennessee or into the Carolinas. There's a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of growth in both of those places, even in the Raleigh-Durham area or Charlotte or Nashville.
That's
a lot going on in those places. So.
Yeah, it's when I love it when businesses come on here and I have no clue that they're even out there. And so talk to us more about you said obviously businesses, churches, what's typically do people take them on vacation? What's the typical rental time of these vans? How long can I get a van for?
You can get it as long as you want. Matter of fact, the longer you rent it, the better deal you get. It's like going to Sam's Club, right? It's like buying in bulk.
Yeah.
Once you go up to a month's rental, once you hit your 4th week, you get a 50% discount on the total price. So, but a lot of people will rent it for a week. Some will do 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The month and 2 month rentals and longer ones are typically to the corporate customers. But it's open to a retail customer is what I would call it. But just a family, if they were going on a trip out west, they wanted it for a month, more than welcome to. But typically we'll see, like a week-long rental and go out west or something like that, or go down to the beach, bachelorette parties, a lot of stuff like that. And it's a lot more fun when you can get in a van with your friends.
With all your friends.
Family, and my wife actually did that before our wedding.
Oh, nice.
She rented a van. Before I was, involved, she got a van and they went down to Clearwater for their bachelorette party. That her and like 10, 12 other girls went down there. So they had a good time.
Yeah, I think it's just a neat business model for sure. I think it's cool. Yeah.
And the coolest thing, you're just talking about the business model, is whenever Dustin came up with the idea of this business, he wanted to be contactless. He wanted to be a lot of automation. He was really pushing heavy on that. So everything's contactless with the rentals. So when you wanted to book a rental, all right, let's say that you wanted to throw a big party for the folks over at your agency, right? The top performers.
There you go.
And you wanted to rent the Mercedes for a weekend or something, take them out to Knoxville or whatever.
The top 15.
That's right.
I got to drive, right? Sorry, it's only a 16-passenger van. But 17, you stay behind.
You just go on the website and you make the reservation. Right? We'll hold the reservation, so you get the van that you request.
Holding the van is the most important part.
That's right. So you're able to actually show up on the lot, and the morning of, you get an email with the van number and the code. All the vans have a lockbox in there, so you just punch the code in, get the keys out, drive off.
Nice.
When you're done, lock the keys up and walk away. So it's super quick, super easy. You're not bound to traditional office hours.
Yeah.
And so it's really convenient. That's what separates us from the competition.
The Avises and stuff. I don't know if have you rented a car lately?
I have. Well, see, I spent 6 years with one of the big box stores.
I feel like they're the only company out there still using the dot matrix printer. Yeah. Because it'll be like, shh, and then we'll look for the car, and oh, you want this one? Okay. Shh, and then, and it's just like an hour later you get the contract and you have to sign that. And then now we go up there to get our car, and it's not even like, they're like, you got to hurry and grab one. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I think it's great that you've got a great model to put together to where it's very secure, very easy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's great. We've had a lot of great success, and we're looking to grow. That's what it's all about. You got to push forward and grow and get into new markets and new territories.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think it's cool. How long have you been with them?
It'll be beginning of the year is when I started, so right at 6 months now.
Okay.
But like I said, I've spent about 6 years, just over 6 years with another company. So yeah, I kind of
say their name.
I know, yeah, I don't want to. But we started in Eastern Kentucky, and then I finished up. I was managing the Louisville Airport over there before moving back home, and coming on with them. So I've got some good experience. I was able to take kind of my understanding of the industry and apply it to this.
Yeah.
We really don't operate the same way at all that the big companies do. But,
I think they should probably adopt your way of life.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you grew up here, you left for a little while. Your wife is an optometrist?
She is, yep.
That's cool. Is she in the area?
Yeah, we'll give her a little shout out.
Yeah, she might need new clients. Is she taking new patients?
She is taking new patients, but she's booking up quick.
Let's hook her up. So what's her name?
She's at Sunset Eye Care. So Dr. Michaela Harr is her name. She's working with Dr. Pattison there at Sunset. It is on Sunset Drive here in Johnson City, right across from the backside of the mall. So right around the corner from Mahoney's, right there.
Gotcha.
So she just joined there not too long ago, and they are rocking and rolling at that place.
That's great.
They've got a fantastic business, fantastic practice, and it's a very good place to be if you need any contacts, glasses, all that good stuff.
Contact Michaela Harr.
That's right.
Sunset
Eye Care.
Eye Care. There we go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now you have kids?
No kids. No kids. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, you got vans. You need to fill them up. Let's go.
You need a few to fill them up.
That's right. What do you and Michaela like to do for fun around Johnson City? I'm always getting people asking, what's fun to do in Johnson City?
Yeah. We like to hike. We like to go out and do stuff outdoors. We love food, right? I mentioned the Rocks Pizza. So moving back, it was always, like, what's a new place to go to? So we'll try some new food and everything like that. But
do you go there for lunch ever?
No, never been there for lunch.
They have like an $8 lunch special.
Really?
It's unbelievable. You can get a half of a Philly cheesesteak or a piece of pizza or something, but it's like with a drink, everything, all in $8. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Like really good.
What do you like to do around Johnson City?
I like to play a lot of golf.
You do?
Yeah, I like playing golf and just working a lot, really. I mean, I feel like we're really active in our church, and then we're really active at work. And so when I get a break and I've got some time, I want to go play golf with some buddies or my sons. And we have a good time. Carly and I like to go eat. We go to different restaurants for sure. We just movies. We love Johnson City. It's just awesome.
There's a lot of good golf courses around here. I'm not a good golfer. I try. I do my best, but there's a lot of cool spots in the area.
There are some cool spots
that I don't remember. But I guess when I was younger over in Bristol, I wouldn't normally make the trip over.
Yeah, there's some really nice courses up in Bristol.
Yeah,
really,
for sure.
Some really tip top. I mean, I think the Old Farm's number 4 in Virginia, the state of Virginia.
Yeah, super nice over there.
It's super nice.
Yep,
it's super nice. Now, where'd you go to college?
Went to Carson Newman.
Okay.
So from Bristol, lived on the Tennessee side. I actually went to Virginia High.
Okay.
So kind of flopped
Where'd you
states
get your degree
there,
in?
but went to Carson Newman and got my degree in business and psychology.
Okay.
And then I got my MBA from LSU.
Oh, nice.
So and then we kind of that's about the time when I graduated. My wife Michaela, she went to ETSU. Okay. So she's a local buck. So she's an alum.
Nice.
And we started moving up to Kentucky at that point. That's when she did optometry school for for 4 years over
Gotcha.
there.
Was that hard for you guys to leave home?
It was. It was a big decision because my family has been in Bristol forever. I mean, I think, my dad was huge into Ancestry.com and stuff like that with, old newspaper articles and everything. And, I think he tracked it back maybe 6 generations.
Yeah.
The house I grew up in, I think has been in our family that long.
Oh, wow.
There's articles from like 1850 talking about the house and stuff. So it's neat. And it was kind of tough to say, all right, I'm gonna move away, and at the time with work, you don't know if you're gonna move back,
right,
and whatever, but it worked out, and fortunately family is really important to both of us. So we did our thing up in Kentucky. It was a great experience, loved it, really, really good people up there, and then we were able to bring it back home, and
That's
her
awesome.
Family's in the area too, so they're right in Piney Flats. So.
Yeah.
Yep, it was great.
I mean, a lot of people leave and they come back because it's so awesome.
Yep, they do. And I remember a lot of my friends, they're talking about, Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport, can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they grow up, they come right back and they're like, you know what? It's a pretty good place.
I've been all around the world and this is the best place.
It really is. The people are kind. Everybody's very generous, and it's a good spot.
It's a really good spot, and I'm excited to see where the future takes us and where we keep growing. And what do you what are some businesses, if somebody's listening maybe and wanted to start a business in our area, what's something you think that we should add to our repertoire that we don't have out there?
Goodness.
Business-wise.
Something new that we don't have in the area.
Yeah, because I think people are coming in and going, oh, what can we start here? Or what do you see? I'm just love looking at different people's thought processes about our city and their business and the businesses around.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
Something that pops into my mind, something I have absolutely zero experience in, but in talking to my brother and his wife, they've got 3 kids and they live down in Georgia. They have found all of these cool businesses from all of their moves in Buffalo, New York, and now down south of Atlanta for childcare and things like that. They've had the opportunity to send their kids to some really cool little, not necessarily a daycare, but it's like an opportunity for kids to go out, and they've got almost like a jungle gym and little thing, but it's like a daycare, and the kids get to go out and exercise and stuff like that. Cool. But I hear a lot of friends that are in the area that have kids, and the whole daycare industry and childcare and everything like that is tough.
And then it's, having children that we put in childcare back in the day, you're always super hyper sensitive to making sure they're solid people. They're going to take really good care of literally your most prized possession ever. And so having great, trustworthy organizations around would be, I think.
Yeah. But again, that's just something that popped in my head. Nothing I have any experience in, but I know that there's all kinds of great business ideas. We were talking about it just a moment ago, but it's interesting how people will think differently. Dustin, who started the business, he'll think about things completely different than me. Yeah. He's like, we're just going to do this. And I'm thinking, well, do we, And he's right, we do. But I wouldn't have come to that conclusion. And when people think differently, it creates really good businesses. And I know that the Chamber here in Johnson City does a fantastic job of enabling businesses to network, and they put on some great events. And Bob over there is fantastic.
Yeah.
We
That's
try
some incubator programs to help you grow your business.
Absolutely,
too,
absolutely. They have a leadership program. I know that a lot of good individuals are part of and lead. They rent our van for to move them for the leadership program. But yeah, they're great over there, and they put a lot of time and effort and investment into the community for local businesses and stuff.
Awesome.
So,
what's something you're working on right now that you're really excited about?
Well, expansion. That's really what it is. Yeah, we're right now.
Could you franchise this thing out?
Possibility. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities on the table. And where we're in such a growth phase right now, probably need at least a couple of years. Let's see where we're at 2 to 3 years. We got a lot of different avenues that you can go down. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Maybe the expansion one way or the other for the business is very exciting. And then all kinds of good stuff working with the city of Knoxville and things like that. In that movement over there is exciting, and a lot of good stuff here locally in Johnson City.
Yeah.
Met a lot of fantastic people that I never met before. Being here my whole life and having friends and family here, working in this business, I met a lot of churches and good people who were just needing transportation, needing to move here and there.
Yeah, if you just rent into churches, there's like a boatload of churches around. There's a lot of them. So you can, a huge market for you. And it's a lot better option probably for them to not have to carry the insurance, not have to pay for a expensive vehicle.
Yep.
and have it just sitting there.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's one of those vans are $65,000 probably, right? For kind of your basic van. And for a church unless you're some huge church with all kinds of money, I mean, that's a big burden to carry. The insurance, the maintenance, and most churches and even nonprofits, they might use it 2 months out of the year,
Right.
if you add up all the days. And so it's a much more economical option to just come rent with us, use it when you need it, and when you're done with it, you give it back. If there's any breakdowns, if there's anything like that while you're using it, guess what?
On you.
That's our problem.
Right.
So the convenience factor is great. We can deliver, we can pick up. So a lot of that good stuff too.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You said the owner's Dustin? What's his last name?
Long.
Dustin Long. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Dustin Long. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's headed up this business since day one and turned into what it is today. So
besides Dustin, who are some other people that are influencing you and pouring into you, or have in the last, over your career?
Oh, goodness, so many people. I mean, my mom, who actually, like we talked about, she'd been on the podcast. She's always been a really, really big influence, and seeing how she pours her time and love into Ashley Academy, into the community, and all the boards and clubs that she's a part of. And, she really spends time with some young professionals in the area and helps bring them up and shows them the right way, to treat people and to care. And I've tried to, mimic that a little bit and follow course. But besides that, there was another boss that I had in Kentucky with the last company that I worked with, and she is just phenomenal as well. Really, really sharp businesswoman, and very good guidance,
That's good. Yeah.
But locally, it is tough because, like I said, I moved away kind of when I was out of school. And so besides kind of friends and family, moving back to the area, I'm just now starting to meet a lot of local business people, being able to go to those chamber events and network. So I do think that I'm meeting people right now that will start to influence me. Sure. Maybe they haven't yet, but they're going to, and kind of push us in the right direction there.
Cool. Yeah, I tell you to find some people that pour into you. Which
yeah, absolutely.
Good. You'd, I think, mention maybe a promo code if you want to.
That's right.
Where do we go to rent a van?
Yep. All you got to do is go to our website. So www.rearviewrentals.com.
Rearviewrentals.com.
Everything's done on there. So you got pricing. You can check availability. You can make a reservation. If you have any questions, there's an FAQ page, or you can call us. You can find the phone number there on the website. And I'll answer probably. So
I was going to say a real human answers the phone.
Oh yeah, real human answer. It'd be me or Dustin, but probably me. So I'm on the phones most of the time. So promo code is just going to be podcast 15. So anybody that uses podcast 15 for the next 30 days, you can book your trip for personal use, your church, your business, anything like that. Bachelorette party, a wedding. We do tons of weddings and wedding venues. You can get 15% off the total price of the room.
Oh, wow.
So,
thanks.
Yep. We're excited and we want to reach out there. And I know this podcast has a really, really great audience.
Yeah. Hopefully some of our listeners will reach out and save 15% just by saying podcast 15. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What did I forget to ask you that you wish I had? You're like, oh, is there anything yeah.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think you hit the highlights.
We covered a lot of it?
Yeah, hit a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to look it up and check it out because I love finding meeting new people, new businesses. It's just kind of cool. And so I love that niche market you're in. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool. And plus, I might go on a golf trip, need a big van.
That's right. That's right. Wow. That's a lot of our renters.
There you go.
Going down to Hilton Head or wherever, for a golf trip. But half the battle's awareness. Right. Once you get into having a local business, it's the marketing, it's making people aware, because 90% of the time you're not going to need a 15-passenger van. You're not going to think about it, right? And so it's getting out and reaching people and just making them aware.
Well, and I think if people think about it, they're probably like, all right, car rental. How do I, because I need a van, but and then you're having to fight the big bucks that they're pumping into the Google to get all the Google juice and come up in the first, the first stuff. And so, I think it's, I think the grassroots way of doing it and getting people to refer and going and making contacts with people is the best way to do it. So, good job. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to continue to flourish and grow and take off. What gets you so fired up in. You're just like, whoa, let's go.
I like problem solving. I like solving tricky problems.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I like, kind of the organization of it.
Yeah.
Right? You're presented with a tough problem and you got to think, all right, how can I fix this? How are we going to go about it? And then you got to put all the puzzle pieces in the right order.
Yep.
And then you got
And then you got it. Yeah. I love it. That's a good one.
I love that. I enjoy it. What about you? What gets you fired up?
Oh man, just helping people.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with you, helping you grow your business. That's exciting to me. If it's just grabbing somebody and like that you see struggling and then you kind of help them get out of their situation, or you just maybe just prayed with them for that minute, because you have this, we only have like what we have right now, right? We only have our one-on-one time. And so just, trying to love that person as well as I can while I'm with them and pray for them and just do whatever I can for them. That's what really gets me fired up. I love helping people move and buy houses and invest in real estate and build wealth through that. So if you want to do that, let me know. But yeah, I think it's just helping people. And I think our whole area is kind of built around that. We love helping each other, and that's why it's continuing to grow and flourish. And
yeah. And to tie it back to, I guess, full circle here to what I said in the very beginning is building relationships. I guess that's something that gets me fired up too. I just enjoy to get to know people, to get to know different perspectives. And then it comes back to, people in the local area influencing you, right? You were kind of talking about somebody that has influenced me in business or personally. And when you're able to build relationships and maybe help someone, they can help you back.
Yeah.
Maybe by just sharing their insight, their opinion, their thoughts.
Yeah.
And we can all make Johnson City a better place together.
Amen.
Right.
And that is one thing too I am excited about with all the people moving here, that, they're bringing new ideas, new things that are going to be cool. And it's going to just make us more eclectic, better. We're going to have better ideas, and better synergy, and just got to keep taking care of each other on the forefront.
Yeah, definitely. And people can't be afraid to change. There's always going to be change.
We're always changing no matter what. You can't stop it.
Yeah, you can't. You got to move forward and grow and do the best you can.
That's right.
And treat other nice and, just move forward.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really enjoy getting to talk to you, and hopefully our listeners have enjoyed the conversation too. And if they need a van, now they know where to go.
Yep, absolutely.
15 passenger vans.
Yep, 15 passenger. That Mercedes, the luxury Mercedes, is a 10 passenger.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got a little room in the back there for the kitchenette in the onboard bathroom. So it seats 10. But don't forget the promo code for podcast 15,
baby. Let's
That's
go.
It.
I love it. I love it. Well, until next time, I'm Collin Johnson with the Collin and Carter Group. If you want to move here and rent a van from Evan, we'd love to help you do that. If you want to invest in real estate, we love helping people do that. We manage it and do all that too. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, and talk to you soon.